to follow my dream in the music business. Well, they wished me all the best. They're quite supportive. One or two of my friends were a little concerned because they felt that they couldn't do it. But I do have a sister also in Austria, so it wasn't as if I would not know anybody here. Yeah, on the whole, they're very supportive. Music and lyrics, melody and text, which comes first and which comes next? Sometimes the inspiration may take a little time. Sometimes the inspiration may take a little wine. To write a song for a pop star like Britney Spears, it's not the singer you think about, it's what the audience will hear. From obscurity to stardom, with sincerity to fame, for a singer and a songwriter, the story's just the same. To write a song or sing for you will always be my dream. The message would be so clear and true, your honor I esteem. Whether love song or ballad, in melody and rhyme, I'll write my song and serenade you if you'll only give me time. If you'll only give me time. If you'll only give me. If you'll only give. If you'll only give me time. I've been in Vienna 7 years on November the 9th, in Austria 7 years on November the 1st. My first visit was a few months before that, last weekend of June 2001. And what was the second part of the question? Pretty hectic. Very social, very outgoing, interesting. Interesting is the right word. I love the architecture and the arts. I find it extremely fun around the music circuit. Most of my friends here are artists of one kind or another, but predominantly musicians. And we get together and do gigs, and there's plenty of places to perform, and that's what I like. It's fun. It's a little difficult to compare the two because when I was in England, I wasn't going full-time for my music career. I was living in southeast London, just outside Woolwich, and working as a visiting lecturer at a few of the universities in England, and that was primarily what I was doing. The flat I had there was very modern, very 70s, 80s kind of new build, whereas the one I have here is a beautiful period property, right in the heart of the city of Vienna, in a district that would be comparable to, say, Kensington in London. It was a struggle in England. I wouldn't say it's been an awful lot easier here, but it's certainly more fun. I've been thinking about it for a couple of years now, mainly because the main purpose of my moving to Vienna was to get involved in the music business and to actively start working on various music projects that I had and stuff. The great thing about Vienna is that the music is definitely here, but unfortunately the business end of the music business isn't. And as London, well, England is one of the global capitals of the music business, I think that with my projects coming to fruition, it would be far more sensible for me now to move back to a business environment. This is a difficult question because my music, and by that I include my DJ services and my karaoke services as well as my own performances, require an audience. I obviously need to be in some kind of metropolis. On the other hand, after 20 years in London, I wouldn't really want to be moving back to London. So my personal preference would be for somewhere southwest. I'm considering that I would have to move or need to move to a metropolis, then that would really mean Bristol or Exeter or Plymouth probably. That's what I came here for. I'm a singer-songwriter, and that's really my passion as well, is music, and I love being involved with it, music and film and acting and that creative, energetic arts type of life.
Hanging out in Pimlico, with the lights turned down low and the music playing slow. I love you, baby doll. Hanging out in Pimlico, watching all the people go. They all seem to know I love you, baby doll.
I'm not sure whether I really want to come back. As I said, the business opportunities are probably better in England than they are here in Vienna. On the other hand, the quality of life and the cost of living is far preferable here in Vienna, and I have a lot more fun, but sooner or later I have to actually get the business end of it happening. Well, as I said, one of the wonderful things about Vienna is the quality of life and the cost of living, and the fact that there are so many available venues for performance and for doing things. So from a music perspective, the pros would be that the business connections would be there, and marketing does work in England, whereas marketing of no nature whatsoever works in Austria. You have to be here so long to be able to be established and get your gigs, etc., through word of mouth, which of course takes forever. And the Austrians are a little xenophobic, to say the least. I listen to Radio 2 a lot in my apartment when I'm not actually working, and from what I've heard with the other services as well that I have to offer, such as hypnotherapy and coaching and lecturing, I would probably now have a better opportunity at finding additional work if I really needed it, but my focus is, as I said, on the music business. From the point of view of doing voiceovers, which is something else that I offer, it really doesn't matter where I am, so long as I have peace and quiet so that I can record with my software, because the work that I do is marketed through the internet via agencies who are interested in voiceovers. One of the major cons of returning to England is the cost of living. In the last 7 years, I've only been back twice until this year, and the first time I went back was for my brother's 40th birthday, and my father was ill in hospital with cancer, so it was a have to. The second opportunity came last year when I went on a trip with a couple of other music friends of mine here, taking a coachload of bankers for a trip, a 4-day trip touring around Cornwall. So that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Other than that, I've been back twice this year for medical reasons, so I haven't actually been involved with the public so much, but you know, being around family and friends, apart from the trip to Cornwall. What I have noticed is that the British people seem to have put on a lot of weight in the last 7 years. They seem to be living on a diet of fast food and reality TV programs. Well, I think that just about sums it up. Yeah. Well, I'm British, born and bred. As the saying goes, British by birth, English by the grace of God. So I was 19 when I first left England and went to Holland for a couple of years, and then returned because I had to. Then 20 years in London, and during the 20 years in London, as an adult from 21 to more or less 41, I was dreaming constantly of moving back to continental mainland Europe. What do I miss? I miss British food, I miss roast beef, I miss British bacon sandwiches, I miss Cornish cream teas, I miss real ale, and the British sense of humour. Well, it's a crossroads. Do I stay or do I go? I've got more opportunity here for actual performance, but the problem is trying to find those venues and trying to market myself. As I have already said, word of mouth is about the only way you can get yourself going forward in Austria, which is very difficult. And from a business point of view, it would make more sense to be moving to somewhere which understands marketing and understands business and does business. There is no film industry here, so there's no film opportunities. As I said, the voiceover work that I offer is done through the internet. Music, yeah, there are plenty of places for getting gigs, and if you go around to the hustle, you can get yourself a gig with no trouble at all. But actually trying to find other more supportive work as well that actually really generates money, such as doing DJ gigs or karaoke gigs, is extremely difficult. I've invested a lot of money here in advertising and marketing, which sadly has come to nothing. So the pros are the business side of it, the cons are the cost of living. As I said, it's a crossroads. It's a lot more expensive than it is here, but on the other hand, with the business opportunities, perhaps I would generate a lot more money than I do here. How would I fare financially? Difficult to tell. Oh, I dream of having a nice country house, a couple of horses, my own private recording studio. Nice bit of river fishing, fly fishing at the weekend. Some good friends around. Nice in the country with a small pied-à-terre in somewhere like, let's say, London. Being able to enjoy my water sports at the weekend, sailing, windsurfing, fly fishing, horses, and focusing full-time on my music. I think with the last answer I've just given you, it could be rather quiet. What I would miss about Vienna would definitely be my friends here. I have made a lot more friends in Vienna in the last 7 years than I made ever in England in the 40 years previous to that. Very good, close friends. I would certainly miss them. And I would miss being in a city that doesn't sleep. Although on the other hand, it never wakes up either. So being able to go out whatever time of the day or night I feel like going out and having a drink, or finding some music somewhere, or hanging out with friends of mine, and a history. Dorian Gray. Dorian Gray, you're just a picture of Dorian Gray, and while your dreams may grow, you just wither away. You once were great, were such a dandy, the King of St. James, all that brandy. Always ready to offer a flower, you once were a man whose words could empower, a quiet whisper in the right ear, and your enemies would shake in fear. But unlike Dorian Gray, you disappear while your picture stays. A tower of a man in your former days, a strength of feeling in your earlier ways. Your ego grows, but your body stays, forever to be just a Dorian Gray. Now is the time to resurrect that manly figure, once so erect, that stride, that gait, once so fierce, once so straight. So under the knife you go, to cut the pain, to let you grow. But where is the man who once there was, that party tiger, that trip to Oz? You're Dorian Gray, and yet somehow you just wither away. Oh Dorian Gray, where will you be some future day, with your soul in a mess and your life in defeat? Will all those women still be at your feet? Still somehow you're Dorian Gray, yet you disappear while your picture stays. You disappear while your picture stays. Your picture stays.